For this discussion board, the book that I choose is called What Do You Do with a Tale Like This by Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. I loved this book when we were doing our annotated bibliographies because it was beautifully illustrated, it engaged the students when the teacher was reading it aloud, and it would be great for a read aloud book, and it definitely met all of the criteria for a good nonfiction book. The book was definitely clearly organized, and it showed the relationship between the concepts. You know, it discussed each animal's noses and what they are used for, and then it discussed their fingers, and then it discussed their feet and their tails and things like that. So it didn't just go, this animal's tail and this animal's fingers do this kind of thing. It really related it all in a way that had a relationship between the two concepts. The writing was definitely interesting. It captivated the readers. I actually read this book to one of my kindergarten classes while I was subbing, and they loved it. They were definitely engaged the entire time. They wanted to see the pictures, and they wanted to say, oh, I know my nose does this, but that's cool that that animal's nose does that. So it already had that higher order thinking going in their brains. The design is definitely visually appealing. As I said, they were really excited to see the next page. They wanted to see the illustrations, and they weren't so colorful that it overpowered and took away from the book, but it was definitely still captivating and still pretty beautiful to look at. And the information is current and accurate. You know, it wasn't saying that some animals do things that they don't do, or this characteristic is different to this animal and not this one, so it really worked well for them. And it also, something that I loved about the book is it wasn't just the stereotypical animals that we see in kindergarten or first grade level books. You know, it wasn't just a dog's tail wags and a cat meows and a cow goes moo. It was more in depth than that, and it was, they used animals like a platypus, and they used animals such as an anteater and different animals like that maybe these kids aren't aware of what they are. They haven't been exposed to that type of an animal before, and that's something I also really loved about the book. I would definitely recommend this book to one of my colleagues. I know that I intend on using it in my classroom in the future because of the response that I had from the class that I have used it with. They loved it, they wanted me to read it again, but unfortunately we didn't have enough time before they had to leave. So I already know that the age group that I wanted to target with this book, they're already interested in it. So, and it also helps really well to teach to the standard of recognizing the five senses and related body parts. So that helps them to know, okay, well my fingers do this, but this animal's fingers maybe are different, or maybe they don't have the same kind of fingers the way that we do. And so it really helped them to start thinking about their body parts and what they can touch and what they can feel with their fingers and that sense in the related body parts. So I would definitely recommend this book to a colleague.